Hey everyone, this here is Speedyfighter, and I'm back with another review for Game of Thrones Episode 5. Now this review is going up a little later than I planned on it. I was hoping to get it up like half an hour after the episode came out, but unfortunately I was at work a little longer than I expected, so at least it's coming out tonight, which is good. Now, real quick before I start off with this review, spoiler alert, so if you're not caught up with Game of Thrones, the TV show, or even the book, I would highly recommend you turn off this video and catch up and then come back and listen to my review of episode 5. But yeah, so like again, spoiler alert, I don't want to, screw anyone over with this. So yeah, this is your last warning right here. But yeah, so for episode 5, amazing episode, very emotional, very impactful, and we got a lot of White Walker and Bran content, which is what I absolutely loved. I think we need more of it for sure. But I literally just finished watching this episode maybe 20 minutes ago, and I'm actually really shocked. I mean, there's been a lot of sad moments, a lot of deaths that I didn't want to happen, and a lot of surprises in Game of Thrones. But for whatever reason, the ending of episode 5 and it hit me pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually a little sad. And I'm a little sad about it. I can't believe how powerful that moment was, how well done it was, and how sad it was. But I'm gonna skip all the way to the end real quick, just want to throw it out there because it's just so fresh in my mind right now. In the end of episode 5, we find out Hodor dies, and we also find out why Hodor says Hodor. And it was such a sad moment. And basically, so Bran's in his flashback, and he's seeing young Hodor before he, becomes Hodor in a sense, before when he can actually talk like a normal child. And then all of a sudden, Hodor in the real world, in the present time, is holding this door of these, the zombie. I can't remember the name now. It's kind of like I'm forgetting the name. I always forget the names. I just call them zombies. But anyway, it's like the zombie horde that the White Walkers control is trying to break through the door and get to Bran. So Hodor is like sacrificing his life, holding the door so that they can't get to Bran. And while he's doing that, in the past when he's a child, it looks like he's having a stroke. And while he's having a stroke, all he's saying is hold the door. So the reason why he says Hodor has nothing to do with his name or anything like that. It's like him saying hold the door so fast, he starts saying Hodor. But really what he's actually saying is hold the door. And so in the present time and in the past, he's saying hold the door. And so while he's having this stroke and saying hold the door, as a child in the present time, he's holding the door, and these zombies are just tearing him apart while he's holding the door just to save Bran. And man, that was honestly like one of the most touching and saddest scenes in Game of Thrones, and that means a lot because Game of Thrones has a lot of scenes like that really hit you hard, and the good guys die. But Hodor was he was so innocent. He was like he was the ultimate definition of a gentle giant, and he was like the opposite of the mountain. And just to watch him die like that was pretty brutal, and it definitely hit me hard, and I'm definitely upset about it. But at the same time, I mean, that's what they wanted, right? That was the impact they were hoping for, and they definitely got it. And that scene really, they nailed it. But yeah, so I might touch on it a bit more, but let's start off with the episode. So basically, the episode starts off with Sansa and Brienne, confronting Littlefinger, who made it to the wall. And Sansa just saying, I don't trust you. I think you should. In all honesty, I should probably kill you. Have you killed for what you did? And she just doesn't want to see me anymore. So that kind of ends with her just being like, fuck off. I don't want to see you anymore. You gave me to this murderous psychopath Ramsay. How the hell could I trust you anymore after that, right? And can anyone blame her? And honestly, Sansa Stark is becoming exactly what I wanted her to become. And every episode I keep saying this, it just becomes more and more apparent that she's becoming stronger and stronger and more like a true Stark to me. So that was awesome. Then we move into Arya, and Arya is just training with her staff, and she's kind of getting her ass beaten up still, but she's learning, which you can tell she's learning. She's such a fighter, which I absolutely love, which was great. And then she's given a task to kill this lady that she's an actress in a play, and the sad thing was the play that she ended up watching, Arya, was actually of her father, Ned Stark, being beheaded, like that whole situation with Joffrey and whatnot, and that was pretty touching. I thought, and you could tell, you could see it in like Arya's eyes, like she just it was hitting her hard. Excuse me, it was hitting her very hard, right? And obviously she's trying not to show her emotions because she's not supposed to be Arya anymore, right? She's nobody now. But yeah, you could see it in her eyes, and then she's also questioning the no-faced god, and like why does she have to kill this lady? It seems like she's a nice woman, and you kind of find out that they don't just kill bad people. I think it's just like an assassin's club, which is what I'm assuming. Honestly, if anyone pays them, they probably just go after him. I don't think this is the right path for Arya, in all honesty, but she's just probably gonna keep going down this path. Unfortunately, and the more I look at this, the more sketchy it is, and the more I think this is not for Arya. Arya has such a better purpose in life right now. She should be fighting alongside Sansa and Jon Snow, and that's what I'd love to see, but I doubt that's gonna ever happen. Maybe it may happen, but not anytime soon. Definitely not this season. But yeah, and then after that we had Bran for the first time, Bran and Three-Eyed Raven, and we find out that the elf people. Now, if you know the names of these little elf girls, what their species called, leave it in the comment section below. I'm not exactly sure what their names are, but anyways, they are the ones who created the White Walkers, and so we find that out. And they created the White Walkers because they wanted to rid the humans, because the humans were destroying, their natural habitat, right? Which, hey, you can't blame them either. So, unfortunately, it kind of got out of hand, and they didn't realize what they did, and now they know the true effects of what they actually did by creating the White Walkers. Then we move into the Greyjoy story, and Yara Greyjoy, she was, trying to be the queen of the Ironborn, and of course that didn't happen because Euron Greyjoy, aka her father's, aka her uncle and her father's brother, who killed her father, comes along and says, "Oh, I need to be king," and they just didn't want a woman as queen, and didn't want a woman leader, so they're just like, any excuse they could have, like they were even wanted Theon to be their king, right? So any excuse they could have had to have a male leader, they were gonna take. So they end up making Euron their king, but Theon and Yara steal their best ships and escape, and it was really a good idea because the second Euron became king, he's like, let's go kill my niece and nephew, so he was going to go kill them anyways. So this Euron guy is definitely a big douchebag, and he's probably going to be another bad guy on the show. We didn't have enough bad guys apparently, so let's get some more in there, why not? But honestly, the speech from Theon about his sister was awesome, and I think Theon's definitely redeemed himself in my eyes, and yeah, I hope he keeps going down this path. He's definitely become a lot better of a person, and he's definitely become one of the good guys again, which was great to see. Then we move into Daenerys, another emotional scene. This whole episode was full of emotion, man. And she's with Dario and Jorah, and Jorah tells her about the grayscale, and they were having this moment of like, you could tell they really cared for each other, and then he's like, I can't serve you or be around you because I've got this grayscale. And then she tells him, she's like, listen, I give you one more task. You have to find a way to heal yourself and then come back and serve me on when I rule the Seven Kingdoms, right? And that was a really emotional moment. So Jorah's going off to find out a cure for the grayscale. I really hope he finds it. I think Jorah is one of the most innocent and amazing characters, and good, and another good guy that I really want to see, survive, right? So hopefully that works out for him. Then we move into Tyrion, and Tyrion meets with this red woman, and another red woman, our red priestess. It's not the one we're all accustomed to. It's a brand new one, which I think we all knew was going to happen in the trailers. It kind of showed it. And so she's kind of, there to try to bring word that, like, listen, you want to follow Daenerys. She's going to lead you through the darkness. And that's what she's kind of there for. But she's definitely conniving. And she's, you have to watch out for, I have a feeling. So she definitely shut up Lord Varys, which is very rare to have that happen. But yeah, so that was a kind of a small scene, but it was interesting. Then we move back into Bran. So I'm just going to skip ahead to the Jon Snow, and I'll go back to the Bran as the finale. Jon Snow, they're kind of figuring out a way to win this war against the Boltons. And then you have Brienne is sent off to talk to Sansa's uncle to help bring I believe it's the Tullys, if I remember correctly. Jon Snow's aid and Sansa's aid so that they can help defeat the Boltons. And Brienne's a little skeptical of it because she doesn't trust anyone. She doesn't want to leave Sansa's side, which I definitely agree with. But at the same time, she is with Jon Snow, who is probably the best person she could be with, because Jon Snow is fucking amazing. Jon Snow is also potentially Azor Ahai, and Jon Snow is Jesus. So, I mean, I would want to be with Jon Snow as well. But yeah, so that was interesting. And then we move on to Bran. So Bran sees the White Walker army and the Night King, and the Night King ends up seeing him in this world or whatnot, and he grabs he touches Bran. So that's how he finds out where Bran is. And they appear outside that cave, the Three-Eyed Raven's cave, like within, I don't even know how long that was, but it didn't seem very long at all. So they end up finding Bran, and so Bran's like, they're trying to escape and get Bran to safety, and then that's when Hodor sacrifices himself, and actually Bran's direwolf dies too, which is pissing me off, man. How many more direwolf are gonna die? Come on, like, what the fuck was up with that? Please keep the direwolves alive, please. But yeah, so this episode was amazing. I'm not gonna give it a score out of 10 anymore. I'll probably give the full season a score out of 10. But I'm gonna stop with that just for now. Just again, I'll give the full season a score out of 10. But this episode was amazing. One of the best of the season. One of the best of the show in general. It was so emotional, and that ending with Hodor and the direwolf was, man, that was too much for me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I will definitely be doing an episode review of episode 6, and let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the episode, and were you as impacted, as sad as I was when you saw what happened to Hodor. Because, man, that scene was pretty brutal to watch. Anyways, everyone, take care and peace out. Yeah.